beautiful fall night here at Foothill College in Los Altos Hills, California, and we're just about set to get going with this match between the Gunn Titans and the Los Altos Eagles. Tonight is senior night for Los Altos High School, and they're honoring graduating senior football players and cheerleaders. You can see starting quarterback Rocky Hidalgo with his father there walking off the field after being honored by this crowd. And there is a group of the starting players for Los Altos, some seniors, some non-seniors, but they're all really glad to be here at senior night. A little later on, they'll be announcing the homecoming king and queen, and so it's going to be quite an evening that we have ahead of us. The standings here, both teams right in sort of in the middle of the pack. Neither one of them really breaking out of the middle of the division in the El Camino League. Santa Clara, of course, undefeated in league play. Saratoga, and then Mountain View with Los Altos, also with a 3-1 record. Monte Vista at 1-2, and then Gunn still looking for their first win within the El Camino League. Gunn is just coming off a loss to Saratoga last week at home, which is not helping their hopes of improving. Los Altos just coming off a win over Monte Vista last week in Cupertino, so something that they can be very proud of. The numbers and the statistics in this game, on paper, they all favor the Gunn Titans. When you look at the rushing yards, passing yards, total yards, tackles, sacks, points, pretty much you name it, Gunn has the statistical edge. But here we are with Los Altos having racked up a few wins, and Gunn, as I said, still looking for their first win in the division. Los Altos is 2-2 overall. Gunn with an overall record of 2 wins and 5 losses. We're going to step aside for just a second. We'll be back for the beginnings of this match. Don't you dare go away. We're back at Foothill College for the varsity football game that we've been coming to see tonight between the Gunn Titans and the Los Altos Eagles. I'm Mike Messner, and I'll be bringing you the action as it happens here in Los Altos Hills. Players to watch on both sides in this. For Gunn, the two that you'll want to keep an eye on at home, Lee Master Howard, number 4. He's the leader of the Titans in rushing yards per game and in total yards per game, and also in points per game. He averages 12.4 points for every single match. For Los Altos, you'll want to keep an eye on Dale Sims. He's the rushing leader for the Eagles, and then, of course, the starting quarterback, Rocky Hidalgo, number 10. Well, I'm not sure who won the toss, but Gunn will be kicking off, and they're just about to do so. And here we go. Line drive, low kick, handled there by Los Altos. Coming out and breaks a couple of tackles, and he makes it out to about the 33, maybe the 34, and that's where the Eagles will start in their first possession of the first quarter. I was talking about Rocky Hidalgo a few minutes ago. This is his second year on the varsity. He's got a total passing yards since he started as an Eagle of 893. That's his career. He's got 8 passing touchdowns. He averages about 128 passing yards per game. He's had 50 completions and 126 attempts. And he's been picked off 14 times. So not a perfect record, but not bad either. Now he back to pass. Long one down the field, and he's got a man, and it's knocked out of his hands at the last moment. Great defensive effort there. And if he'd had another step, he might very well have been on his way. And that was Owen Conway, who's a senior, number 14, going along the left side. Great attempt there by the Eagles. Now 2nd and 10. The fan base at Foothill tonight does seem to favor Los Altos. I don't see a whole lot of Gunn. There's a pitch out there in the backfield, almost picked up there. Coming along the right side, he breaks a tackle, knocks someone down, and he's down. That's Ben Parker running along the right side, and I believe he'll have enough for the first down. I think he's into Gunn territory. Maybe at the 48 or the 47. No, they're going to call it at the 48, so that's a first down for the Eagles. That was a great pitch Gunn did have some good penetration there, but Ben Parker, a running back at 5'10 and 170, a second-year varsity player, picks up the first down for the Eagles. Here we go, Hidalgo out of the shotgun. That's Isaiah McPherson lined up in the backfield among other people. And McPherson's in motion. Hidalgo takes the snap, and it's bobbled a little bit, and I think maybe the running back may have slipped right there, or maybe that was Hidalgo himself who took a spill. I think it might have been either Hidalgo or Ben Parker. I couldn't see the jersey, but no gain there. Just kind of a broken play. So that's unfortunate. Ben Parker also plays baseball for these Eagles under the tutelage of Coach Gabe Stewart. And so you sports fans will want to listen in and tune in when the baseball season starts. We'll be bringing you a bunch of different games here on KMVT. No gain there, so 2nd and 10 now for the Eagles. 2 people in the backfield with Hidalgo out of the shotgun. Fakes a handoff, now being flushed from the pocket. He's rolling out to his right. He's just gonna throw it away, and it almost gets picked off there. That was Aitan Smalyar, the junior defensive tackle, who had a good chance at getting the pick there, but Hidalgo really had no place to go, and I think it was all he could do just to get that ball away because he obviously wasn't going to take the sack. Loss of 3 there for the Eagles. Los Altos hasn't completed a pass yet. The one run from scrimmage did pick up the first down, but now they are back inside their own territory, I think at their own 44-yard line, maybe the 45. And the whistle blows.
Gunn takes its first timeout.
And Gunn will take a timeout. Maybe they just want to make sure that they can close the deal on this series. We're going to take time out ourselves, so we'll be back at Foothill College in just a moment. It's 0-0. And we're back at Foothill College. It's 3rd and 13 for the Eagles as Rocky Hidalgo with 2 other men in the backfield, 2 wide receivers. He takes the snap, kind of a low snap. Once again, he's blitzed, and it looked like a screen pass to Ben Parker, and Parker made a game effort, but nowhere going, not going to get anywhere near. I don't even think he got back to the original line of scrimmage on that. Brings up a 4th and very long for Los Altos, and I believe they're going to have to punt. There's head coach Trevor Pruitt and some of his staff. And they're probably having a conversation. Hey, what just went wrong there? We were doing so well. High snap for the punt, and he gets away. And it's going to take a Gunn bounce, and that is going to end up at the Gunn 35, which is where the Titans will take over for their first offensive series. So good things do happen. As I said at the beginning of the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen, you'll want to keep an eye on Lee Master Howard. He's going to be one of the wide receivers. When Gunn is playing defense, he'll be playing cornerback. Solomon Palatua is one of the quarterbacks on this squad, and he's played 17 games in 2 years on the varsity, and he has 984 total passing yards since he joined the varsity here. And then that is Palatua under center. And quick handoff, off tackle onto the right side, and he's stopped for a short gain, maybe a pickup of 2, maybe 3. I think that may have been Lee Master Howard. Lee Master Howard, this is his 3rd year on the varsity, and he's picked up 743 yards on 92 carries in his career, and he scored 7 touchdowns. So he is definitely a threat. But that's not all he can do. He's also picked up not quite 1,000 yards, 960 yards on 48 receptions, so he can catch out of the backfield too. Second down now, and now over to the left side, and the runner breaks a couple of tackles, and he's brought down. That's Palatua. I think he may have tried to sneak on that. And that is going to be close to a first down. Again, off tackle, this time going around the left side of that very solid Los Altos defense. And they are going to say that he got enough for the first down. So that's going to bring up a 1st and 10 for the Titans. It's their first down of the first down of the game at their own 48-yard line. So far, they have not thrown a pass, but they haven't needed to. Palatua takes a snap, now pitches. That's a pitch to Howard. And Howard, forward progress will probably give him 3 or 4 yards. He was thrown back there at the end. Now they're going to give him 5. So that'll bring up second down now. And they are now inside Eagle territory at the Los Altos 47-yard line. So between the two, so Palatua and Howard, they've been a good 1-2 punch. And again, no passing formation so far the Eagles. And now another pitch to Howard. Moving forward, I think he's going to get another 4 yards.
Not quite all the way, but made some progress. It's going to be about 31 at this point.
So that'll bring up a 3rd and 1 for Gunn. Their first third down. And not yet having gone to the air, still in a tight running formation with 2 or 3 lined up in the backfield, almost as if they were doing a collapsed version of a field goal formation. And now the sneak by Palatua, and I believe he may have gotten the first down. Los Altos doesn't think he did.
Pushing their way through.
So let's see where they mark it there. He only needed the 1 yard. And they are going to give him first down Gunn. Los Altos did stiffen up there, but they did not manage to stop him. Let's see that one again. Now you can see that Los Altos reacted, and they thought that they had stopped him, but he did get as far as he needed to. Now we're back. Now he's flushed out of the pocket. And he is gang tackled there, and I think he probably took a loss of 2 or 3. That was his first attempt to go to the air, and Los Altos threw every conceivable blitz at him in that particular one. And he'll probably take a loss of 2 or 3 on that. I'm not sure where they'll mark it.
It's going to be a loss of about a yard. The ball's going to be 42 now.
So it'll be a loss of 1 yard. It brings up a 2nd and 11. So far, the pass rushes for both these teams have been very effective. Although Gunn has made a little bit more progress on more plays and have taken more time than Los Altos has. Now a pitch out again. And he manages to get through. I think he's made up for that loss before and gained 4 or 5 on top of that. That was Lee Master Howard again. Howard in the game against Mountain View. Yes, let's see that again. And Howard was able to get through. So it'll bring up a 2nd down, but
He's going to go against. Yes, we thought holding against.
oh, we're going to get a little hold in here, as Keith Jackson would have said. So that's going to wipe out a nifty run there by the Titans, and that puts them back in their own territory at their own 48-yard line.
That's going to be a good 2nd and 20.
2nd and a mile. They've got 20 yards to go to get a fresh set of downs. Lining up, and again, they have 3 or 4 setbacks Tight formation. Now handoff off to, no, it faked the handoff and it was up the gut there. That may have been Richard Jackson, number 42. He's a 5'11" sophomore, and he's actually classified as a fullback. And he's played 6 games this year, and he did appear to get just a yard out of it. Interesting call by Jason Miller and his offense. So now, at midfield, the Titans still with a long way to go. And now trying to get around the other end, and nothing doing. He may have picked up 2 on that end around. That was Lee Howard. Lee, I think, picked up 2 or 3 there. As I started to say, against the Mountain View Spartans on September 21st, now not quite a month ago, Lee got 2 catches for 35 yards, and each one of them counted for a touchdown. So Lee really made the difference in that particular game. So far, he's proven that he's here to play, but so far, both of these teams are at a standstill, and Gunn will have to punt. And there's the snap. And that one is called for a fair catch at about the Los Altos 9. And that's where the Eagles will start off on their second possession. They did get into Gunn territory on their first one, but almost all of that was done on the single run by Ben Parker. So far, not much action in the passing game for the Eagles, but we'll see what they can come up with here on their second possession. The ball is marked at the Los Altos 9. And here they come. Rocky Hidalgo under center. He's got 2 men in the backfield. And that was a straight ahead run there. And that was Ben Parker. And I'm not sure he got anything out of that. Maybe he got a yard, but it doesn't look like it. The straight ahead run. Eagles playing, no, he got a pickup of 2 there. 2 receivers out to the right. Hidalgo back to pass. Long one down the field, and I believe there may have been some pass interference there. Jack Dellenbach, the corner for Gunn, and the flags flew in his direction, so we may have a pass interference. I can tell you that the Los Altos receiver did look like he was tripped up. And it is a pass interference against Gunn. Jack Dellenbach, who is a junior, this is his first year on the varsity, and this is his 4th game starting for the Titans. And on the offensive side of the ball, he's also a wide receiver, so he knows this part of the game very well. And they're going to walk that off, and that's going to give Los Altos a lot of breathing room. First down for Los Altos at their own 26 after the pass interference on Dellenbach. Now 2 receivers split out to the left. Pitch now.
Pitch to number 14, Ben Parker.
And that's Ben Parker.
Ben really pushes his way through on that.
No, I beg your pardon. That's Owen Conway, number 14. And it's not even him. That is Aaron Parker. And Aaron at only 5'8" and 175, but he is also a baseball player. So definitely an athlete and definitely in great condition. I didn't see how much he picked up on that, if anything. And they're going to call that a 2nd and 4. So a pickup of 6 there by Parker.
2nd and 2.
and a good penetration there by Gunn, but they weren't able to stop the runner. I think he got close to a first down. That's Dale Sims. We talked about Dale a little earlier. He is the leader of this Eagle team in rushing yards per game and in points per game. So it made perfect sense that they'd be making the play to him, and that was enough for a Los Altos first down at their own 38-yard line with about 3 minutes left in this first quarter. Neither offense so far has really been able to get a whole lot done against the other defense, but Los Altos beginning to settle down a little bit, vary their plays. Of course, and there's a pitch. And Dale Sims, and Dale is hit and hit hard there.
Dale doesn't get too far because he gets pushed by Corey Alana with some extra assistance.
You can call that a team effort there by Gunn. He's knocked out of bounds. I think Los Altos might have had a call have cause to ask for a late hit, and wow, you can see right there, no messing around. There was Corey Hayata who was there on that too. This is Corey's first year on the varsity, but he played very well against Saratoga last week. So 2nd and 10 now for the Eagles. And another pitch, and this time Parker's able to break away, and he gets well into the secondary, and I think he'll be brought down just at midfield, and that will be well more than enough for a first down. He's a little slow in getting up, but first down Eagles once again, and they'll probably mark that at around the 50. Ben Parker looks as fit as a fiddle, so he's coming off the field right now. And Los Altos beginning to move the ball here. If they're successful in getting some yards on this one, it'll be only the second time that they've ventured into enemy territory. Now their handoff, and it is up the gut for a gain of about 2. And I think that was Aaron Parker there on the carry. And that'll be a gain of 2, and that'll bring us to about 1:19 left in the first quarter. We've noticed that the Los Altos running game has become a little bit more methodical since we started. And still not a whole lot of success in the passing game. Of course, one of those was because of a pass interference call, which really gave a boost to this drive. So 2nd and 8, the 48, and rolling right. Here's the throw. Hidalgo has a receiver at about the 41-yard line. And that is Owen Conway, who is mostly a defensive player. He will play in the secondary, he'll play as a cornerback, and he'll also play as a wide receiver. Max Preps doesn't have a whole lot of numbers on him, but he is showing us what he's made of. Owen's also a senior, so this will be his last home game. Let's see that again. You can see him rolling right, almost a bootleg there. And he caught it, and then poor old Jack Dellenbach realizing, I don't want to get hit with another PI. So probably maybe just let the Eagles have that one. Now there's a run that is stopped, and he may have even taken a loss on that one.
Stopped by Rio Yee.
It was Rio Yee, and I think that might have been.
And they're going to put that on about the 40, and I think they're going to look to see.
It'll be very close. I think that's 3rd, and I would call that about a yard, but they may push it back a little bit more. No, it does look like it's going to be 3rd and short for the Eagles. And this is the farthest they've been inside Gunn territory all night. As the first quarter, I don't know if they're going to try to get, no, they're not. As the first quarter has come to a close here at Foothill College, no score between the Eagles and the Titans. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go away.
We're going to switch directions here in the new quarter.
We're back here live at Foothill College as we're just starting the second quarter of this game between Los Altos and Gunn. And Los Altos had a 3rd and short. And I believe they did get that one on the up-the-gut run there. Just enough. That is going to move the chains. First down Los Altos to start this second quarter. In the first quarter, we saw both teams really successful with their running game. Not much passing at all. There was a pass interference call on the Titans that really boosted Los Altos. And now Rocky Hidalgo out of the shotgun, going for a pass. And it's going to be well short or well long, depending on how you want to look at it. Owen Conway was behind the ball, and Isaiah McPherson was way in front of the ball, and I'm not sure McPherson even knew that that was coming, and Conway had no way of getting that. So perhaps Hidalgo was feeling a little bit of heat there from the Gunn pass rush, which has limited him so far to just 1 completed pass against 2 or 3 incompletions. So no gain for the Eagles on that one. Brings up a 2nd and 10. Ball is marked at the Gunn 38. Under center, now pitches. And he's going to be caught behind the line of scrimmage. That's Aaron Parker, number 44. And great penetration there along the right side by the defensive ends of the Gunn Titans. See that again. Now you can see the pitch. And he's coming around, and before he knew what had happened, there was Philip Doan, the junior second-year player for the Titans, was just wrapped all over him. And we're going to call that a 3-yard loss for Gunn, or for Los Altos, rather. Now Hidalgo with 2 setbacks out of the shotgun. He takes the snap, a little bit of a low snap. Good protection. Now a long pass down the field, and it is dropped. Heartbreaker there by Sam Aoki down the middle. And Sam had it and lost it, and he's probably not going to forgive himself for that one for a while. So you can see Hidalgo getting some great protection and then throwing what was a very catchable ball. Not quite underneath the Gunn defense, but in any case, it brings up a 4th and 12, and so Los Altos is going to have to cough it up. Aaron Parker will be kicking for the Eagles. High pass, almost go of it. So the second punt is away now, and Gunn's just going to let that fall, and it falls at something like the 2-yard line. So Gunn doesn't have any breathing room to speak of as they start this next series way back in their own territory. Great kick by Parker, and an interesting choice not to either go for the fair catch or maybe even try to field that kick by Jason Miller and these Gunn Titans, because now they're really backed up against it. And the freshmen here get younger all the time, I'm telling you. If you're just joining us, this is senior night for Los Altos High School. A little earlier this evening, we honored the members of the Spirit team and the football team who are graduating this year. This will be their last appearance at a home game. And there's an attempt to sneak around. I think he may have picked up a couple of yards there. That was Solomon Palatua, the Gunn quarterback, trying an off-tackle run there around the right side. And we think we may have a marker. And the officials having a little discussion about it. And if this is against Gunn, they're going to have half as much breathing room as they had before, and they had nothing. So that one's coming back to the 2-yard line, and we're going to try it again. Or no, they're going to bring it half the distance to the goal, which is the usual rule if you've got a penalty inside the red zone. So that'll bring up a 2nd and 7 now for the Titans. And the Titans, if they had no breathing room, now they've got half as much breathing room. And this might be a good place for Los Altos to try to get a safety. They have scored one this year. We're still having a little bit of a conversation. And Los Altos is ready to go. And now they're huddling up.
Actually, they're going to wave that flag off.
There's the Los Altos coaching staff, Trevor Pruitt and his colleagues. Now we're back. And it's going to be a 1st and 11 now. Now going back to pass, throwing a long one down the field and out of the reach of Lee Howard. And I don't think he had a step on the cornerback in any case. That was Juan Marin Mello. And Juan has played both free safety and strong safety. Juan's only 5'9", 170. I had the pleasure of teaching Juan last year, and he's quite a character. But you could not have picked him apart with a crowbar off of Lee Howard. So great coverage there by Juan Marin Mello. That's bringing up a 2nd and 11. And a pitch now, and trying to make it. Now he's still on his feet. And he's going to get an A for effort on that. And he did make a little. That was Lee Howard coming out of the backfield. And he does have a lot of rushing. I was talking earlier. And in his career at Gunn, he's carried the ball 92 times. Now make that 93 for 743 yards and 7 touchdowns. And that was exactly what Gunn needed here on 3rd down, although they're still very well backed up in their own territory. At least they've got some room to work with. Now here's Palatua. Somebody jumped, I think. And that's a false start against Gunn, and the Gunn offense right now just cannot get a break. As again, they are pushed back to now between the 4 and the 5-yard line and still facing a 3rd and long. And Los Altos has got to love it. So let's see if Los Altos will be able to capitalize. If they can get a fumble or a picked off pass, we may be in a 7-0 game here very soon. So again, 3rd and 8. Scoreboard says 3rd and 7. As the officials are trying to make sure that everybody's ready to go here.
Titans definitely using all of their play clock here.
And Gunn better hurry up, or they're going to get a delay of game. Unless they've taken a timeout, or maybe there's an official as well. The clock isn't running.
All right, that last penalty was waived. They decided now it's going to be 3 and 3rd down. That's going to
Okay, well, they made up their mind about what they needed to do, but Gunn is facing a 3rd down in any case, and it's going to be 3rd and 3. And now trying an off-tackle run, and he's met solidly by the Los Altos defense. Osvaldo Arellano was in on the tackle, along with a couple of his teammates. Do that again.
That's going to be a first down. Good conversion for Gunn Titans. Out of a tough spot, they get all the way up to 14.
And there was also Ari Guzman. And I thought they had stopped them, but apparently the officials said, no, that was enough for the first down. So they are now, Gunn, on their own 14-yard line. Patience paid off there because they were able to get a fresh set of downs, and boy, did they need that after a couple of misfires earlier on. Now there's a pitch, up the gut, hard hit there. Jose Marin Mello was in on that stop. Jose, a 6-foot, 209-pound player. This is his third year on the varsity, and he's made 8 solo tackles. I don't know if they're going to count that one as being a solo, but that's certainly another one. That'll bring his total up to 11. Brings up a 2nd and 3. Good gain there, and good run blocking on behalf of the Titans. And I imagine Trevor Pruitt is going to be saying that they need to tighten up their formations there. They should not allow themselves to get pushed around this early in the game, particularly because Gunn still doesn't have great field position. Now there's a substitution over there. Corey Hayata coming in. He'll probably be coming in as a running back. Now they come out of the huddle. 2nd and 3 now for the Titans. 3 down linemen for the Eagles. A couple of edge rushers. And now, coming off of the left side, not much there, if there was anything at all. That was Aaron Parker, who's lined up right now as an outside linebacker. May have been a yard on that. That'll bring us to a 3rd and 2. So 3rd and 2, and still not great, and now we have a timeout on the field. And we'll step aside also. We'll see what Gunn's going to do when we come back to Foothill College. See you in a minute. We're back at Foothill College, where the Gunn Titans, still deep in their own territory, but getting a little bit of breathing room since they started this drive from their own 2, now are looking at a 3rd down and 2 from their own 24-yard line. Tight formation. It looks like they're going to go to the run game, and it looks like it may have been a sneak or maybe a shovel pass, but I don't know if they made it. Los Altos doesn't think they made it. No signal from the officials yet. And it looks like they did get enough for the first down. So they're going to move the chains. Tough push there by the Titans, but they did get just enough. We were talking earlier about the number of seniors that are on both of these squads. It is, after all, senior night at Los Altos. Just to give you some idea of the proportions, Los Altos has 23 players that are listed as seniors on their roster. Gunn, 4. So it's a much younger team. There's a nice run up the middle, out to about the 30-yard line. So that would be a gain of 6, maybe 5. I think they're going to mark it at the 31. That'll also bring up a 2nd and 4 for the Titans. And handoff there. That was number 54 for Gunn. And that's Leo Yee, who is primarily a defensive player, but he managed to get the call on that one. And picked up 5 or 6 yards for the Titans. So 2nd and 4 now from the 31-yard line. Now a quick run up the middle of the line that's been successful for the Titans up to now. Looks like they may have picked up 2 or 3 there. And that was the quarterback, Solomon Palatua. And he will be very close to a first down, and they are going to move the chains. And Palatua really caught the Los Altos defense off guard. The Titans have been lining up with 2 or 3 short setbacks, just 1 or 2 feet off the line of scrimmage. And usually he has handed off to them, and that time he decided to do it himself. But whatever works, right? Now first down, spinning around, and he is met, the ball carrier is met pretty much right at the line of scrimmage, and that was Lee Howard. Quick handoff there, and I don't believe he got anything off of that one. And he was looking none too happy, saying probably, what happened to my blocking there? And there's a flag on the play. We'll see what that's all about in just a second. And Gunn's going to be called for an unsportsmanlike conduct, and that is the 3rd penalty on the Titans in just this possession. So Jason Miller can't be happy with the way his offense is going. Every time they seem to be making some momentum, they keep on shooting themselves in the foot. Now, I didn't see who it was against. It may have been against Lee Howard, because he certainly wasn't happy, and he was making his pleasure known on that. You can't throw the ball around unless you're a quarterback. Hard lesson learned. But that's part of it's part of high school football, particularly in the El Camino division. Still some discussion going on. We've talked a lot about Lee Howard. One thing that I didn't mention was his defensive prowess. In addition to being a great wide receiver, he's made 100 tackles, and he's picked off the ball 6 times and run the length of the field in it. Now Gunn trying an end around on the left side. And they didn't get very much on that, if they got anything at all. Of course, they were facing a 1st and 25 in any case. And that's going to be marked at the 22-yard line, and that is going to bring up, I beg your pardon, it's a 3rd down that's going to bring up. And would appear we've got a timeout on the field. We'll take a break as well. We'll be right back for the Eagles and the Titans when we return. Back at Foothill College, there is the Gunn cheerleading squad. So far, they haven't had a whole lot to cheer about, as it's 3rd and 24 for their Titans. And now trying another up-the-gut run and maybe a couple of yards for the ball carrier. And that was Lee Howard, who I believe was called for that unsportsmanlike conduct before we went to the break. And now they're facing down a 4 and 20. So Lee Howard fought for 4 yards, but not much to show for it, as the Titans still way down in their territory, and they're going to have to kick this ball away. And now Los Altos has called a timeout because they've realized they've only got 3 minutes left to play in this half, and they're trying to figure out what to do with it. Well, we're going to stick around because here comes the Los Altos special teams unit, and it looks like Ari Guzman is going to be deep for Los Altos to receive the kick, and alongside him will be Aaron Parker. We've talked about Aaron a fair deal. Ari Guzman, in the game against Monta Vista, he made the highlight reel on Max Preps for just being everywhere, and that punt was almost blocked. And it's going to be, I think Los Altos may have accidentally touched it, They're trying to unwrap it right now, and Gunn says they have it. So we'll see. And they're moving the chains, and I believe Gunn has the ball. So they catch a break. As that ball may have been touched by a Los Altos player inadvertently. So let's see what happened here. So it may have been mishandled. We kind of missed it in the shot there. But from what I could tell, Owen Pastel was in the neighborhood of that, number 82, and he may have just touched it inadvertently. But in any case, Gunn now has it, and it's complete to their receiver, and he'll bring it inside the 40-yard line. And this is about as far as the Titans have gone all night tonight. So Los Altos making a costly mistake on that punt after having all the defensive momentum in the world. Now they're going to have to get it back, because now it's 1st and 10 for the Titans at the Los Altos 37. And going back to his run game, and that may have been a gain of 3 or 4 for the Titans. And I think that may have been Philip Doan, number 22. He's a junior running back. And he's racked up 297 yards plus what he just got now. And he averages 8.3 yards per carry. So that was a fairly good choice there. And we have a second and call it 7 now for the Titans. And that may have been an early start there. And the pass is complete. And then the ball came out. I think it actually may have been called an incompletion. Yes, it will be. So I think the receiver had it and then dropped it, or maybe it was stripped from him. But in any case, that will be an incomplete pass, and that'll bring up a 3rd down for the Titans. So Los Altos stiffening on defense there and good on their cornerbacks.
Ball stays on the 35-yard line.
It's in the 35-yard line of Los Altos. That may or may not be within field goal range for the Titans. But here they come now for a 3rd down. Again, 3 tight setbacks. And it's handed off, and great carry there by Lee Howard. And he's going to get all the way down to call it the Los Altos 15 before he's brought down. Fresh set of downs for the Titans, and the Titans are moving here as we head towards halftime. And this is the first real progress or sustained progress that either team has made on offense this evening. 1st and 10 for the Titans. Palatua fakes the handoff, and now he's going to go for a pass, and it is caught. Touchdown, Gunn. Over along the left side, making it out of some fairly significant coverage there by the Eagle defenders. And Jack Dellenbach was the one who came down with that. He's played 3 games this year before tonight. And from what I can tell, that is his first touchdown of the season and maybe of his high school career. Yeah, let's see that again. And straight shot, and interestingly enough, okay, Juan Marin Mello giving him a little bit of breathing room, and Dellenbach made him pay for it, and that's a great redemption. And I believe Gunn went for 2 there, and they did not get it. So Los Altos preventing an 8-point deficit, now just a score away from tying this up. As Los Altos comes off the field, down 6, but it's better than being down 8. So we'll see what they can do with the time that they have. They've got 1:10 on the scoreboard. They have fewer than 3 timeouts. I don't know exactly how many timeouts they have.
After about 23 minutes, we finally get some scoreboard, 6-0.
And after a scoreless first quarter and scoreless 9+ minutes of the second quarter, we finally get some points on the board, and it comes from a pass from Solomon Palatua to Jack Dellenbach. So now Los Altos getting ready to receive the kickoff. Charlie Kinney, a sophomore who is known to play free safety and wide receiver and quarterback, is lining up to kick this one for the Titans. And there's his kick. And whistles going all over the place, and the referee saw something they didn't like there. And I think we're going to try that again, and I think that may have been somebody crossing the line a little early. So but it may be, I think it's actually going to be imposed on Los Altos because we're kicking from the 40 now.
The ball was not ready for play there. One more time now. Okay, now we're ready.
Now Kinney will try it again. There it goes. Okay, a line drive and kind of a shank kick, and that one went out of bounds at about the 32-33 yard line.
Flag goes down.
And there's a flag on the play again over on the far side from where our standpoint right now. We're going to see what the call was.
We're going to re-kick this.
And we're going to try it a third time. And it's going to be placed again at the 40.
Right,
and that one was an illegal procedure against the Titans. So now they're going to move it back to the 35, which is where they began. And maybe the third time is going to be the charm here. With 1:07 to go, we've managed to rack off 3 seconds in 3 kicks. Halftime, I believe they're going to be announcing the homecoming court and king and queen because, of course, this is homecoming weekend for Los Altos High School. And there's Kinney's kick, and this time I think it got away cleanly, and it's fielded by Parker. And he is smacked at about the 36, maybe the 35, after maybe a 15-yard return, as the Los Altos Eagles now have just under a minute to work with in this first half before we go to halftime. Ari Guzman now coming out to join his teammates in the huddle. They spot the ball at the 37. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. 1 set back there with Rocky. Rocky out of the shotgun. He takes the snap. Throwing along the left side, and it's going to be picked off by number 19, and that's Jack Dellenbach, and he's going to make a play for it, and he is brought down at about the 20 of Los Altos. And the Gunn Titans are in business again after a not particularly well-thrown ball by Rocky Hidalgo, and he's not going to be happy with himself over that one. Let's see that one again. All right, no, not quite a touchdown. And I believe the offensive line or the defensive may have gotten a piece of that. And there's Dellenbach with the run back. And he was stopped before it got any worse by Dale Sims. And with 46 seconds, the Gunn Titans are very close to, or maybe in, the Los Altos red zone, and they be able to go up, they may be going up 2 scores. So Rocky Hidalgo with a pass that may have been tipped, may have been misplaced, but probably shouldn't have been thrown in any case. And here come the Titans one more time. Palatua under center. 3 short setbacks. And the handoff, and the ball carrier is met, and that one was Lee Howard, and he didn't get anything on that one, or if he did, it was less than a yard. 2nd and 10. The clock has been stopped. I think they may be just trying to get a mark on that. So it is going to bring up a 2nd and 10 for Gunn. And I believe Los Altos has called a timeout.
Timeout on Gunn to stop the clock.
No. Actually, Gunn called the timeout, but we'll take one too. We'll be back in a minute. Don't go away. Back here at Foothill College, as we look at the Los Altos sideline. And now bringing up a 2nd and 10 for Gunn. And Gunn got here off of an intercepted Rocky Hidalgo pass as we're closing in on halftime, and Gunn's in business again. Now fakes a handoff. There's a blitz coming, and he is shoveled out of the pocket, and he manages to get down all the way to the Los Altos 5. He's stopped there by Tyler St. Laurent. And there's an Eagle player, a couple Eagle players slow in getting up there. And we're going to see that again. Nope. Well, that was a one play back, but we'll get to it. That was the pickoff there by Jack Dellenbach. And then here is what we just saw, the blitz coming, and Palatua very alertly realizing that he needs to get out of there and turned a loss into a gain. And that Los Altos player's come off the field. He appears to be just a little dizzy. And Gunn called for a penalty there. It would appear it was a hold against the Titans. So that is a setback that may keep them from getting any more points on the board before we go to the halftime. And that'll back them up what they were going to be on the 6. Now they're looking at the 33-yard line. So not going to be quite as easy to punch this one in. And they're looking at a 3rd and 20. Fake the handoff, blitz coming, and they get him. And that sack was gotten by Charlie Kinney, the free safety coming all the way out of the backfield, or the defensive backfield, that is. And that is going to bring up an enormous loss for Gunn. And Gunn's not stopping because we're just about out of time. Clock is ticking. Will they be able to get another play off? Doesn't look like they will. So we've reached the halfway point, and after a fairly lazy first quarter, we go to halftime with Gunn's offensive engine finally picking up. So it's halftime here at Foothill College with the score. The Gunn Titans 6, the Los Altos Eagles nothing. Back here at Foothill College, we're experiencing the pageantry that goes along with homecoming week for Los Altos High School. You can see the marching band doing their performance of Mirage, which is the routine that they came up for this year. And there is the new homecoming king and queen announced just a moment or two ago. Part of an ongoing pageantry at Los Altos High School. Every year it happens. And the class of 2020, that's juniors, won the float competition from the parade that happened a little earlier today. There were a couple of key plays. The one that you're just seeing now is the touchdown pass that put Gunn ahead 6-0. They were unsuccessful in the 2-point conversion. And then just a moment later, Rocky Hidalgo throwing a ball where he probably shouldn't have thrown it, and it's picked off by Jack Dellenbach, who a moment ago had gotten that TD pass. So this is a night for Jack to remember so far. And that's the extent of the scoring, and that's the extent of the key plays that we've seen so far in this first half. So as we head into the second half, Los Altos down 6 in its homecoming game, and the Gunn Titans looking to pour some more vinegar onto the party that Los Altos has at Foothill. We'll be back. Well, we're back for the second half here at Foothill College between the Eagles and the Titans. And the Titans have a 6-point lead right now as Los Altos kicks off to them. High kick, and it's fielded at about the 9. Runner coming out, and he makes it past about the 32-yard line, and that's where Gunn will start it off. The Titans had sort of a frustrating couple of first drives. They were called for 2 or 3 straight penalties in the second quarter. After starting off their own 2-yard line, they found themselves close to midfield and then backed all the way back to about their 10. Of course, that drive also ended up with them scoring their touchdown, so I guess they can't complain too much. Now here we're back. 1st and 10 for the Titans. And a pitch off there now to Lee Howard. And Lee's brought down after a gain of 7 or 8. That'll bring up a 2nd and 3 for the Titans. As Los Altos tries to figure a way to get back into this thing, they have not been able to contain Lee Howard as consistently as they would like. And the passing game has been the thing that's put the points on the board for Gunn. Now another pitch to Howard, and this time, get some good penetration, flags flying all over the place. And Howard may have been dropped for a loss there, but we're going to see what the... And it's a hold against Gunn, and that brings maybe 4, maybe 5 penalties that Gunn has suffered, and had they not done that, we might be in a 13-0 or 14-0 game. But as it is, now they're going to find themselves all the way back at their own 28. No, I beg your pardon, at the 31-yard line, but still a significant loss. Still 2nd down. And they do have 3 yards to get 12 yards now to get a fresh set of downs. Palatua pitching again to Lee Howard. And this time Lee picks up about 5. He's brought down on the far side of the field right near the Gunn bench. Osvaldo Arellano was there on the stop for the Eagles. Osvaldo's played for the varsity before. This is his 2nd year. He did play 1 game last season, and he got 2 combination tackles, so he can add that to his resume. 3rd and 7 now for Gunn. Now some shifting. There's a man in motion, and the referee saw something he didn't like, and I think a flag may have flown. No, that's going to be a timeout there for the Eagles. And we'll go to a break. So, Gunn trying to make something out of a 3rd down. We'll see what happens when we come back. Taking a look at the very talented Los Altos cheer squad. And they put on a great performance at halftime today. But now back to the football game, as it's 3rd and 5 for the Gunn Titans in their own territory after a holding penalty. So they come up to the line. I don't have any statistics on their 3rd down conversions. Now he takes the snap, and a pitch yet again to Lee Howard. And he may be brought up just short of the 1st down. But that is the third or the fourth straight time that Gunn has gone to that pitch, and Los Altos does not appear to have an answer to it, at least not at this point. He is going to be about 2 yards short of the first down. And you have to wonder, how many times can they go to the well on that one and get away with it? Tyler St. Laurent was there for the stop, and it looks like Gunn is going to go for it here on fourth down. Snap, and again the pitch to Lee Howard. He does cross the line, but a flag on the play in the backfield, and it's a false start against Gunn. So what would have been a very nice, capable run by Lee Howard is going to be wiped out as the officials are walking it back. And that has got to be at least the fifth, maybe the sixth penalty on the Gunn Titans so far. And that's one of those things that they're going to talk about in practice the next time Jason Miller meets with his team, which you would think would be on Monday afternoon. So now Gunn will kick it away. And there's the snap, and the kick is away. And a fair catch called for at about the Los Altos 28. And the Eagles come out for their first series of the second half. I believe that was Aaron Parker on the catch there. Aaron, a sophomore at Los Altos High School at 5'8" and 175 pounds. And in addition to special teams, you see him as a running back and an outside linebacker. There was a shot of Aaron. And here come the Eagles. 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line, according to the scoreboard. That can't be right. Now a handoff. And Ben Parker around the right side. He's shoved out of bounds there. Ben very fast as a running back. That'll bring up a second down, and I don't know what gain there was on that. Ball spotted at the 36. So that was a gain of 6. So that brings up a 2nd and 4. Rocky Hidalgo under center now. One setback, 2 wide receivers. And he hands the ball off. That was to Aaron Parker again. And he may have gotten enough for the first down there. No, he's going to be just short of the first down. So 3rd and less than a yard. And Los Altos not wasting any time getting to the line as they realize they're down against a team that is probably underrated. And now the handoff, and he breaks free, and he makes it all the way into Gunn territory. And that's Aaron Parker for you, number 44. And these Eagle fans are loving it as they see that run game reaping benefits. Let's see that again. Well, we'll get to it in a minute. Now, here it is. That's the tail end of that run. And Aaron just taken off, and he was almost off to the races. And flag goes up. I think somebody jumped. Los Altos is saying it was Gunn. And that's an offside against Gunn, and that is penalty. I've lost count, but I think it may be penalty number 7. And that's going to tack on a few more yards for the Eagles. And so the Eagles catch a little bit of a break in that quest for that matching touchdown as the clock runs to about 8 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. So there is plenty of time for the Eagles to make something out of this. Now at the line, wide receivers, 2 setbacks. And he stumbles. He did well to hold on to that, but that's an unfortunate happening there. That was Ben Parker, running back, and that is not something he's going to remember. He usually piles up 6.6 yards per carry. He had 16 carries coming into this game, And he averages 37.4. That won't help his average. So now 2nd and, I don't know where they marked it, but they marked it at 8 yards. And now he's still on his feet, and I believe he may have gotten enough for the first down there. And once again, that was the other Parker. That's Aaron Parker. And he will get enough for the first down. They move the chains, and it's down at the Gunn 37-yard line. And a great handoff there right up the gut, and a desperate attempt there by the defensive lineman, number 72. And Aaron Parker again there, now within the 20. That was Ken Erland Turleby, who had been trying to bring down Aaron Parker on the play back there. And Los Altos now driving. And that brings up a 2nd and 2, so he didn't quite get the first down, but this is excellent progress for the Los Altos Eagles. Now Rocky hands it off, and it gives it again, and that time that should be enough for a first down. That's Ben Parker, so it's the Parker brothers. And for anybody who thought that they just made Monopoly games, they're also making yards. I don't know if Ben and Aaron are related, but I'll bet you dollars to donuts that they are related to each other. I'll ask my producer to find that out for me when we go to break. First and 10, Rockies got the ball, hands it off again, and that time, again, great penetration there by Gunn to stop the runner. That was Aaron Parker trying to get that one, and he may not have even gotten back to the line of scrimmage, and it looks like he may have taken a loss of 1. Los Altos being very efficient with this drive. Realizing they can't go to the same play over and over again. Now Rocky's got it. 2 wide receivers, 2 setbacks. And the handoff to Parker again, and it's around the end. And I beg your pardon, that was not one of the Parkers I got into a rut there. No, that's Dale Sims, who came into this game leading the team in rushing. Dale listed as a fullback at 5'10", 180. Maybe not the biggest guy on the field, but did the job. Of course, that does bring up a 3rd down for the Eagles, and they're going to mark it at, call it the 27-yard line. That's a 3rd and 5 for Los Altos. Again, 2 wide outs, 2 setbacks. Handoff again, and this time he's going to get the first down and more, and he bulls his way inside the 10. And we have red zone football for the Los Altos Eagles, as that'll be a 1st and 10, and I believe it's going to be spotted at the 9-yard line, and Los Altos has a 1st and goal. And that was Ben Parker. And Ben's looking for his first rushing touchdown this season. He's had 4 on the varsity, but none so far this season. He has had 3 receiving touchdowns. But if he can run it in, that'll be a first. Now Rocky under center, 2 setbacks, 2 wide receivers. He takes the snap, handoff again, and this time, he managed to break away from it, but Gunn persisting and the whistle blowing, and I believe they're going to say nope. He was called back, and I see the official standing at about the 20-yard line. That was a significant loss there, if it's going to be spotted. No, not quite that back. I think they're going to mark it at the 17, which is still a loss of about 8. Good penetration there by Gunn. So Gunn is beginning to figure out what Los Altos is trying to do. They just can't stop the run consistently. But they are beginning to figure out the schemes here. Now a pitch. And he's going around the left end, and did he get in? He did get in. Touchdown, Los Altos. Dale Sims on an end run around the left side, broke away, got out of our line of vision, and the next thing you know, 6 points for the Eagles with 4:15 to play. And he was never touched. He was tripped up right there at the very end, but he did get into the end zone to even up this game. And now Los Altos gonna go for the one extra point to go ahead in their homecoming game. Gunn did try a 2-point conversion when they scored their touchdown. It was not successful, so Los Altos now is in a position to take the lead for the first time in the match. Kick is up. And it is no good. I think the Gunn defense may have gotten a piece of that, but it looked like it was short and maybe a little bit off wide to the right. But in any case, we have a tie game, and that's better than what Los Altos had before. So with 4 minutes, 9 seconds to play in this third period, we have a horse race. Gunn 6, Los Altos 6. Don't go away. We'll be back in a minute. Here is that point after, and I can't imagine that Gunn did not get a hand on that ball because it looked like it was deflected. But in any case, we have a 6-6 tie now, and Gunn kind of reaching over to get that one. That was Salomon Palatua, the quarterback, who plays on special teams, and he'll be stopped at about the 23. And Gunn will bring its offensive unit back out. They have lost the lead. Now they're going to see if they can get some points back against a fired-up Los Altos team that was held scoreless in the first half and now has even the score at 6. In their first series, Gunn kept on doing pitches to Lee Howard 4 or 5 different times. They were also plagued by a bunch of penalties. And I'm wondering if Los Altos managed to figure that out, which is why they were able to keep possession and score on that last series. And the pitch yet again to Lee Howard. And he'll pick up a couple there off of that. I think Osvaldo Arellano was in on the stop. That'll bring up a 2nd, and I would call it a 2nd and 8. Now they'll call it a 2nd and 7. As Gunn continues to go to the ground game for short gains. They do have the time to do that, but they no longer have the luxury of the lead. And this time, Palatua keeping it for himself, and he managed to get some yards out of that. And I can't see where they'll mark it, but it looks like they are going to move the chain, so it's going to be a first down for Gunn at their own 35-yard line. Palatua evidently not wanting to go to the air too much. He has been successful in some of his passes, and Los Altos has not gotten an interception against this Gunn team yet tonight. But, of course, they haven't been given that many opportunities either. So now the pitch again. And the ball came loose, but I believe that Howard fell on it there. So that time the pitch didn't work out. It may have been just bad timing. So it may have been a bit of a broken play there. As we're within 2 minutes of the end of the third quarter. And that looks like it's a loss of about 2. So Gunn will come out. 2nd and 12 now. for the Titans. And it snapped, and it looks like it might have been a double reverse, and their runner there, and that was Philip Doan, whom we've seen now and again in this game, but not consistently, picking up a big gain, and that brings it out to midfield. That may be the longest gain from scrimmage that the Titans have had all night. And Ari Guzman was there on that, and yes. No, I don't think that was the one we were looking for, but in any case, 1st and 10 for the Titans at midfield. And pitch again, and this time Los Altos is waiting for Lee Howard and stopped him for no gain. That was a gang tackle on that. And I think Jeffrey Klisch was in on that one, number 32. He's a defensive end and outside linebacker. And that may have gone for actually a loss, but it was certainly no gain. They're going to mark it as 2nd and 11 for the Titans. As this crowd now much more into it than it has been in the past. So here we go. 2nd 11 now for the Titans. And somebody going in motion. Now he's back to pass. And a long one down, and that is tipped, and it's incomplete.
Interrupted by Ari Guzman.
Ari Guzman was in on that one.
Also got a bit of a hand on that.
And that was tipped, and that would have been a beauty, but great coverage there by the Los Altos secondary. Yeah, let's see that again. As Palatua going back to pass over the middle, and there were 2 Los Altos players there, Guzman, and I couldn't see who the other player was. It might have been Mario Lopez, I didn't see. Now 3rd and 11 for Gunn, just shy of Los Altos territory. And a whistle goes. And it looks like somebody wanted a timeout. So we'll take one too. With 33 seconds left to play in the 3rd quarter, we are in a 6-6 tie between the Eagles and the Titans. Don't go away. We'll be back. Back here at Foothill College as the Gunn Titans, who until recently had a 6-point lead on the Los Altos Eagles, who are celebrating their homecoming game, now find themselves 3rd and 11, just shy of midfield. And Palatua back to pass, fakes, okay, gets it complete now over on the left side. And a strong hit there. We're going to see where they mark it. It looks like it's going to be at the 42-yard line of Los Altos, and that is going to be short of a 1st down. We're going to take a look at that again. Fakes the handoff, back to pass. And that is the tip from the previous pass play. Here it is again, the fake handoff. Now he's flushed, and he throws it out to the left flat. And Ari Guzman coming charging in from the secondary to save that play because he was bound for a 1st down. Great effort there by the Titans, but they are going to end up short. And now they're going to have a little conversation. Are they going to go for this, or are they going to give the ball back to the Eagles? We'll hang around and see what they're going to do.
Lots of good plays on both sides. Lots of good, strong defense dominating this game. That's going to, you can set a tied score.
As we've been saying, both defenses in this 2nd half have come out strong. And now Los Altos taking the field coming out of their huddle. Lining up on the right side of the ball. As we are in the 4th quarter. So now Gunn facing a 4th and 2, and it looks like I do not see a punter on the field, so they may be trying to get those last 2 yards against the Los Altos defense, and here they come. And he rolls right. He's looking for those 2 yards, and he is going to get them. He'll be tackled at about the 38-yard line. That's more than enough. That'll be a first down for the Gunn Titans on an end around by Solomon Palatua.
Gunn gets the critical conversion from the 4th down.
And Palatua is no slouch when it comes to rushing. He has carried the ball 155 times coming into this game, and he's gained 922 yards, not counting what we've seen this evening. So that was not a bad choice by Jason Miller. And now 1st and 10 for Gunn. And a pitch, and he's met in the backfield. That is Lee Howard, bottled up. Flag comes in late there. Charlie Kinney was in on the tackle there. It is going to bring up a 2nd down. We're going to see what the official has to say here. It's a personal foul against Los Altos, and that is going to hurt. John Madden said it best. He said a personal foul never goes unpunished. And so Los Altos is going to have to walk backwards a little bit. That will bring Gunn very close to the Los Altos red zone to about the 22 of the Eagles. If that is not the first penalty that Los Altos has garnered tonight, it is probably the most damaging. So we're just underway in the 4th quarter here, and Gunn threatening just outside the Los Altos red zone. Here's Palatua, fakes it, and now hands it off to number 22. That's Philip Doan there. He didn't get much on that. Doan's picked up 297 rushing yards in his high school career, and he averages about just under 20 yards per game. He's scored a couple of touchdowns, but it was short yardage. I don't know what he may have gotten a yard. Not much more than that if he got anything at all. So it brings up a 2nd and 10, maybe 2nd and maybe 9. No, they was calling it as a loss. Now a pitch to Howard, and Howard is slung down by the Los Altos defense. I think I saw Osvaldo Arellano and Ari Guzman in there, but there's a flag down. And a hold against Gunn, and that is a setback they did not want after getting a 15-yard gift from the Eagles. Now Lee Howard slung down there very hard, and that was Ben Parker playing strong safety there. And that'll bring up a 3rd and a lot for Gunn. We'll call it 3rd and 11. And it's marked at, from what I can see, it looks like the Los Altos 26. Scoreboard says the 23, but I don't think that's right. 3rd and 11 now. Gunn lining up in their classic 3 short set formation. Faked a handoff. Now he's going to be brought down. And that's a sack. That's the 2nd sack that Los Altos has gotten tonight.
He was sacked by number 68, Brennan Hanley.
And getting credit for that is Brennan Hanley, a 6-foot defensive tackle and a junior, making the case for why he should be staying on the varsity. And that brings up a 4th and 17 for the Gunn Titans. In the 4th quarter. Going to be an interesting decision here that Jason Miller's going to make. And Gunn would appear to be going for it. This is long yardage, so this isn't very interesting. Now going in motion. Now he's back to pass. Flag on the play. Now he throws it into traffic, and it's tipped away. And I think that might have been Ben Parker who got the hand on there, but there is a flag down. False start on Gunn, and it is declined. So Los Altos managed to get a little bit of a break there on the penalty, and they will regain possession with 9:18 left in this contest. So now it is the Los Altos offense that has to prove itself. And let's see if they can get some points on the board, as here they come. Now Rocky Hidalgo, 2 wideouts, 2 setbacks. Handoff to Parker. Parker trying to do an end around, a flag on the play. He may have gotten a yard. He was lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Let's see what the officials say. The flag was thrown in the Los Altos backfield from what I can tell. And it's a hold against the Eagles. So that's going to bring them back to within their own 20. That's not the start they wanted on this series, because this is a series where they could conceivably be able to break this game open. Clock is rolling again.
All right, adding that all up.
So that'll bring up a 1st and 20 for Los Altos. Pretty far back in their own territory. I think it's marked at about the 15. Now Rocky's under center. 2 wideouts to the left. And the ball carrier on that. That was Dale Sims, their leading rusher. And he managed to get some well-needed or much-needed breathing room. That's just about a 16-yard gain, so that'll bring up a 2nd and 4, I think, for the Eagles.
But that's going to bring up a 2nd down and a much more reasonable 5 yards.
Well, they're going to call it 5. I was a little off. But still, much more within striking distance, and this is what Los Altos wanted. So now 2 wideouts, 1 on either side, 2 setbacks. Hidalgo handing off to Ben Parker. And he's been pushed back there. That was Aaron Parker, I beg your pardon.
Sorry, that was the other Parker.
And that was, I think he got as far as the 40, no, maybe the 37. They're going to mark it at the 35. So he may have picked up 1, but that's going to bring up a 3rd and 5, maybe a 3rd and 4 for the Eagles. But that's workable, and that is certainly nothing that Los Altos hasn't handled before, and they can handle it again. 3rd and 3 now. And this is a big down coming up now for the Eagles. Rocky hands the ball off, and some late hitting there. I wonder if the ball came loose, but apparently it came up to about the 40, and that will be a 1st down for Los Altos, and that is exactly what the Eagles needed after kind of a sputtering offense between penalties and not very profitable end runs. Let's see that again here. There's a handoff right up the middle, and Aaron Parker didn't get a lot, but he got all that he needed to. And a fresh set of downs for the Eagles. 1st and 10 at their own 40. 7:48 to go in this contest. And I believe that may have been offside against Gunn. We'll find out whether he was drawn.
Eagles are pointing at the Titans.
Nope, it was a straight-up offensive or defensive penalty. That was offside. That's penalty number 8 or 9 against the Titans now. And it's going to give Los Altos even more room to work with, because now they are at midfield. About 7.5 minutes left in this one. Good clock management so far by the Eagles, from what I can tell. Now handoff again. That's to Aaron Parker. Aaron spins away from one. Another flag down. And that 2 flags. And Los Altos looks happier than Gunn right now. So we may have offsetting penalties. Let's see. Get a closer shot at what the referees are saying. Yeah, they're having a little bit of a powwow here. This may take a little while to straighten out. Both of these teams wanting this game very badly. Now they've broken up, so let's see what's going to happen. We have a hold against Los Altos and a personal foul against Gunn. So those may offset.
So they're going to march off both these penalties, and the result should be a net gain for Los Altos. And
the referee's walking it back to the Los Altos side of things just to get the full measurement. And now that personal foul is going to be marched off against Gunn. And at worst, it looks like it's going to be first down for Los Altos. And a 1st and 10 at midfield. So more or less back where they started, but that's certainly not what Gunn was hoping for. And the Los Altos crowd very much getting into this one. Now Rocky handing it off. That's Parker, and Parker gets away from one tackle, and then he's taken back down from behind. That was Palatua. Picked up about a yard on that. They do get into Gunn territory. Good penetration there by the Titans. As we are midway through the 4th quarter, you begin to see a little bit of fatigue here on both sides. 2nd and 9 now for the Eagles. Rocky's got it under center. Now pitches, bobbled a little bit there by Ben Parker, and Parker is not going to get anywhere. In fact, he may have been thrown for a loss. He did not, and he's slow to get up, is Ben Parker. We're going to take a break now. We'll see how Ben's doing, and we'll see how this game finishes out when we come back. Don't go away.
We're going to set the clock to 6:24.
That's Ben Parker walking off the field after being very slow in getting up, describing to the Los Altos trainer maybe what he's feeling.
6:20. Set the clock to 6:20.
So Los Altos will carry on. It's a 3rd and 9 now. 6:20 left in this contest. And Ben Parker has played just a huge role for Los Altos in this game and every game. So he will be out at least one play. The trainer is seeing to him right now. So now Los Altos coming out. They make it a 3rd and 10. Big play here for the Eagles. Pitched out, and the other Parker gets it, and he is going to be short of the first down. He'll be at about the 41, maybe the 42. That is going to be just a little bit short. They needed 10, and he got either 8 or 9. So they are in Gunn territory. It's going to be spotted at the 41-yard line. And now Trevor Pruitt needs to make a decision. Now Rocky coming back on the field now. And the fact that Rocky is there, that Rocky Hidalgo is there, means that Los Altos is going to go for it. That is a gutsy move there by the Eagles. Set back, and there goes Parker, and Parker breaks free, and he is down to inside the Gunn 30. Easy first down, and a great move there for Aaron Parker. So just when you think that they may have done it in, the other Parker comes around. If one doesn't get you, the other one will, and he's tripped up, and he might very well have been off to the races had it not been for a Gunn linebacker saving the day. So they've spotted it at about the 34 of Gunn. That'll be a 1st and 10 for the Eagles.
1st and 10.
Now 3 wide receivers and 1 man in motion. Rocky's got it. Hands it off to, I think that's Dale Sims.
Dale Sims forces his way through a massive tight.
And there's a lot of wrestling going on there, and maybe the ball may have popped loose, but if it changed possessions, I didn't see it, and neither did the referees.
Ball's going to be on the 25.
So that brings it down to about the 25. 2nd and 6 now for the Eagles. Clock is running. We're about 4 minutes away from the end of regulation. So Los Altos still managing the clock very well. And somebody jumped. And I don't even think they got that play off before a flag went. So let's see, what does the official have to say about this one? And it looks like that's going to be against Gunn. So that brings up a 2nd and 1, and so Los Altos catching a lot of breaks in this possession. As with under 4 minutes to play, they are within the red zone of the Gunn Titans. And so here come the Eagles. 2 wideouts to the left, and now Trevor Pruitt says, no, let's talk about this before we go any further. So we'll come back to see what they do. With 3:24, we're in a 6-6 tie, but maybe not for long. Don't go away. Second and 1 for the Eagles at the Gunn 20-yard line. Rocky Hidalgo about to take the snap. Hands it off. Parker running, and he's in, and that's Dale Sims, not Parker, that's Dale Sims, showing why he is the team leader in rushing, as it is now 12-6 Los Altos. And this crowd, which has been waiting for a breakout moment, got it just now, courtesy of Rocky Hidalgo and Dale Sims. And Sims wasn't even touched until he got within the 5-yard line. And had they gotten a hold of him, that might have been a horse collar tackle. But as it is, now going for the extra point is Aaron Parker. And yes, it's good. So with 3:16 left to play, we now have the Los Altos Eagles ahead 13-6 over the Gunn Titans. This is going to be a great finish. Don't go away. We'll be right back. We're back at Foothill College as these Los Altos fans are still celebrating that run-in by Dale Sims to put their Eagles up on top 13-6. And with 3:16 to play, Gunn finds itself in a bit of a pickle. Now they're coming the run back, and he's all the way in. He's not going to be caught until, and he's still on his feet. And he runs it all the way down to the Los Altos 39-yard line. What a run back. And that was Lee Howard once again showing that he can take kickoff returns too. And he is now, that is his 10th kickoff return of his high school career. And he had 226 yards coming into this, and you can tack on maybe 40 more as a result of that. And that one is going to hurt, because although Lee Howard made a heck of an effort, it's going to be called back because of an illegal block in the back against the Titans. So a brilliant run by Lee Master Howard for naught. And they're going to place that ball at, looks like the 30-yard line, maybe the 31. So Gunn has 3 minutes to work with, down by 7. They know that a field goal at this point would do them no good. They're going to have to get in, and they're going to have to score 2 or score 1 and try to get the ball back, assuming we don't go into overtime here. Now, Alatua back to pass, flushed out of the pocket, and his intended receiver, I believe, was Jack Dellenbach. And he was lucky to get that one away. That'll bring up a 2nd and 10 for Gunn. And if Gunn does not get the ball back, or if Gunn has to give up the ball, there is a good chance they will not get it back. So this is as big a series as they've had all night right now. And if they want to pull something out of their bag of tricks, they better do it in the next couple of downs. Now there's a run there by Lee Howard, number 4.
Master Howard, but the pass was dropped. We'll see.
We're going to see what happened with that.
They're saying he's down by contact.
The ball did come out. The officials say it was down by contact.
Titans pick up a first down on the 42-yard line.
So the Titans do pick up the first down. Edgar Barajas coming in now for the Eagles. Ball spotted at the Gunn 42. So here they come. 2:42 to go. Fake the handoff. He rolls to his left. And it's passed, and it's bounced off of the helmet of Jack Dellenbach. Or maybe that was Philip Doan, but I thought it was Dellenbach.
Correction, intended 19 for Jack Dellenbach. Multiple touches, hits the ground.
Okay. Brings up a 2nd and 10. 2:33 to go. Gunn is going to have to be very careful about how they manage the clock and how they try to gain yards. They may have to go to their ground game, and they are not lining up any wide receivers right now. And Los Altos wants a timeout now. They're going to have one left after this. And maybe we should take one too. So, give our crew a chance to catch their breath. We'll be back for the finish of this one in just a moment. Take a look at that incomplete pass that we had a moment ago. There's Palatua, and it appeared to be off the head of Jack Dellenbach. Although that would have been a nifty gain if they had managed to make the connection there. But now the Gunn Titans facing a 2nd and 10. Their own 42 with 2 minutes and 33 seconds left in this one. Lining up in a tight formation. They're going to go to the ground game, apparently. Ball snapped. No, he's back to throw. And this time, it looks like he did make the connection to Dellenbach. And it's very close to a first down. And the clock is running. 2:20 to go.
going to be
Interesting formation there, and a good job by Dellenbach to hold on to that one. But it does bring up a third down. They are in Los Altos territory. Now pitched out to Howard, I believe. And the ball comes loose.
Ball pops out. We'll see.
And if Los Altos has it, that may be your ball game. Los Altos thinks they have it. Gunn holds on. So that was a lucky break for the Titans, because now they still have a shot at playing catch-up ball, and they do have a first down. So they have now a minute 53, the ball at the Los Altos 43-yard line. Less than 2 minutes to go now. So here we go. Palatua under center. And a run straight up the gut. That was short yardage. And the referee took a dive on that one. So, and he's not wearing any pads, so not where you want to be. He was in the wrong side of town, but that was a pickup of, I think, 5. The clock continues to run. Now man in motion. Now Palatua fakes it. Straight drop back, and it's connected. And Dellenbach escapes what might have been a face mask call, and the ball is spotted at the Los Altos 21-yard line. 1st and 10. As Gunn driving, trying to keep this game within reach. They need 7 to tie and 8 to go ahead. Palatua now up the gut, and not much there. Very short yardage, if there was anything at all. That was Leemaster Howard. Should bring up a 2nd and 9 now, I think. Ball should be spotted on or about the 14-yard line. 51 seconds to go. And this is a real classic high school football game. Just what we'd hoped we'd get between these two Bay Area teams. It's 52 seconds now. They made a correction on the scoreboard clock. Now Gunn comes out after spending one of its timeouts. I don't know how many they have left.
52 seconds left. Los Altos leads over Gunn 13-6.
1st and 10. Palatua under center. Tight formation. Fakes the handoff. Here comes the blitz. He gets away from it, and it is complete to a receiver, and that may have been Dellenbach, and it's down at about the 7-yard line. Then that it would be a significant gain, and it's going to be 1st and goal, if I'm not mistaken. He managed to get away from the blitz coming in there. Short pass and into very good coverage. That was Miguel Tepepa. And now, broken play. We may have had a flag there. Let's see what's going on. And that will, oh, they spiked the ball. So Gunn, which indicates to me that they probably don't have any timeouts left. 38 seconds. And the ball is spotted on, I believe it's the Los Altos 7. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Titans. And if Los Altos can hold here, they will have accomplished something very significant against the Gunn Titans. Now it's an end run, and he's stopped at about the 5. So Los Altos slamming the door there. That was Lee Master Howard one more time. That'll bring up a third down. 20 seconds left. Gunn is going to try to get another play off. They're going to have to. They're going to have to hurry. They get it off. He rolls to his left. Pass, and it looks like it may have been caught. Touchdown, Gunn. And Gunn has drawn to within one with 1 second left on the clock.
Jack Dellenbach on the completion for the touchdown for the Titans.
Let's take a look at that again.
1 second.
You see him, he's rolling to his left again. Los Altos not expecting that, and he did get away. They had not much pressure put on him at that point, so now it's a 13-12 game. And if Gunn has to decide what they want to do. Do they want to try to get the one for the tie and maybe send this game into overtime? Or are they going to go for two and go for the win? If they are unsuccessful, then Los Altos will have held on, and they are going to go for two. So this is your ball game right here. Pitched out. Now a fly, and it is off the helmet, and they want a flag, and they're going to get one. Time expires, but there's a flag down, and we may have a defensive pass interference. And it is against Los Altos. So it was a toss by the running back. His intended receiver was number 13. And that might have been Kylan Liu, I can't tell. But so Gunn gets another breath of life. With no time on the clock, here again is your ball game. And now Los Altos wants a timeout. And whatever happens tonight, ladies and gentlemen, you've seen some history. And you have seen one of the better high school football games you will ever see this side of Texas. And the call does come in as Gunn was begging for a timeout there. You saw Lee Howard tossing it up. And it was a well-executed play. And Los Altos may, I don't know if they intentionally interfered, but in any case, Gunn has another breath of life now. And there's 1 second left officially on the clock, but this is your ball game right here. And the crowd, I don't know if, I think they're all on their feet here at Foothill College. And here we go. Again, and Gunn gets in for the 2 points. And there's a flag down. Or did Gunn get it? There is a flag on the play. So we're going to see what happened here. And Gunn called for an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty after scoring the 2-point conversion. And the scoreboard reads 16-14. But apparently we are not done yet. There is still 1 second on the clock. So whatever penalty there was, it is going to be imposed on the kickoff. And all Los Altos can hope to do at this point is either to get an exceptional return or see what the Cal Bears did in the 1982 big game with a whole bunch of laterals. Or what's known as the play. We Stanford fans prefer not to think of it, but They are walking off that penalty now against the Titans.
Right, with 1 second left on the clock. Titans are going to be
And
assessed the 15-yard
Gunn
line
has
on the
gotten an amazing drive and did well to get the 2-point conversion. Had they not gotten the unsportsmanlike conduct, we wouldn't be here right now. But we've got one more play left in this thing. So we'll see what Los Altos can do. Here comes the kickoff. Here's your game. It's a squib kick, and it's fielded by Los Altos. And he's not going to get very far, and Gunn has taken this game. In a last-minute drive of epic proportions, the Gunn Titans, who came into this game with a not terribly impressive record, have captured this contest. Gunn goes to 3-5, Los Altos goes to 4-5, and that is your homecoming game 2018. So once again, the final score, Titans 13, Eagles 12, in an epic match if there ever was one. The producer of our program tonight was Rene Antonio Mendoza. The director was Tyler Wiest. Thank you, Tyler. Tim Erskine was our logistical coordinator and cameraman. Orlando Montes also doing camera, and Orlando and Tim know more about football than anybody at KMVT. Adam Cedillo Glatt, another cameraman. Special thanks to Foothill College for providing the facilities, and to Los Altos High School and to Gunn High School for the contest tonight. This is Mike Messner reminding you, run for the roses, but don't forget to stop and smell them. Good night, all.